Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I bankrupt Jones again by Jimmy and Fluff.
Yeah.
What's up, beautiful people?
In today's matchup is Jimmy versus Fluff. Jimmy's brought back launch, dual colors, both red and blue. I think there's a splash of green, but we'll get into that when it happens. And Fluff is bringing back one of his old favorites, King Cold. Like always, just buttons down below. Please put comments, let us know how you're doing, and, yeah, let's start the match. Before we get into the actual match, I just want to pause real quick and mention that for some reason during the recording process, somehow OBS stretched the timeout. I'm not sure what happened. The video initially was 19 or 18 minutes, and somehow ended up the recording being 24-ish minutes. So there's going to be a couple times we're talking about certain plays that hadn't happened yet. It's just because of the disorientation of it. I'm not sure what happened, but enjoy.
Now we turn comments off. We don't want the toxicity here.
I don't think...
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't want the bots. They get annoying to report.
No, the bots are nice.
Sure.
I didn't honestly know what to expect from this matchup. I figured that launch was going to be a rival heavy strategy, and I don't play many battle cards. My ability to control the board is fairly adequate in this deck, but I wasn't sure if, based on launch's overall combo strength, if I was going to be able to adequately get through to her life. So that's what I'm kind of worried about in this matchup.
You not having battle cards is a significant thing here. Where most of the time when I play launch, I'm doing it in a play and response, where you put something on the field and then I respond with what's in my hand, and that usually is me putting my arrival cards on the field. I very rarely play a battle card that is not played during the combo step. So since I knew you were going to be swinging that with battle cards, a lot of the cards in my hand are less valuable now, other than just being able to drop them and turn them sideways at you.
Yeah.
Which this deck is really good at it, but it's a lot nicer when I'm able to...
when you're able to get full value.
When I'm able to get full value, of course, yeah. If you are somehow not familiar with launch is it's a very unique deck in that it's going to be flipping its life a lot, it's going to be comboing a lot, drawing for its combos, and then it does not have a traditional awakening, and you're going to be flipping back and forth, which is not seen on any other leader in the game. You have like the Dragon Balls that will flip your opponent's life, or flip your life, or flip your leader back over, after you activate your Big Wish. There's hit cards that will flip your opponent's leader, but not many decks, or there's not any other decks that will just like constantly be flipping your leader face up and face down, which is really, really interesting, and it's a fun mechanic to play around with. But I kind of know what to expect from the King Cold matchup. It's a lot of field cards, and you're going to be going for power swings instead of low to the ground, like pegging swings.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the card. I think it's like Anticipated Onslaught that gives your leader card the boost and double strike.
Sounds right, yeah.
Which it's your deck, bro. What the hell? But I do know that's a card to watch out for.
Sorry, I'm looking up the cards because I don't honestly know the names off the top of my head. It's not Anticipated Onslaught. It is set 13 was Supreme Rivalry. Does that sound right?
That sounds about right. I think it's that card that just hit the field there with the spaceship.
Yeah, it's the one with the spaceship, yeah.
Not entirely important, but I don't run a lot of hard negates in my list, so I'm really just relying on my combo power alone to combo out of those big power swings.
It's Unstoppable Invasion.
Unstoppable Invasion, yeah. Yeah, that is right. So like I said, none of my arrivals can touch the leader card or the unison card. So it's kind of daunting taking this matchup, knowing that most of my protection is just dead. And you see here, I'm practicing. I put the launch into my my Z energy, because I do have a Z deck with this. If you didn't watch the deck profile and you if you missed it, it's because Bancroft cut it out because he's a little bitch and doesn't want to show my my early access to the Z deck profile. But I did fix it because Fluff was like, "Hey, bro, like we can't let him know you already got the Z deck."
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
now
Can't.
everyone to know that we're cut after this video drops.
Don't know.
I really just put the berry blue on the field here just to do something with my energy so I don't lose too much value. I know that you don't have any battle cards currently in play. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to pass with multiple energy open at this point because I'm not really pressured by your field. I just have to worry about what you're doing with your leader. And where I know that you generally like to play launch responsively more than proactively, I don't even know that you're going to waste putting another card on the field during this battle step.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, I was really thinking about debating about putting a card on field just to pressure a little bit more because you are at 4 life at this point. So I do end up just taking the second draw here for comboing on the backside.
I'm super comboing here just to kind of increase the quality of the cards in my hand. I'm not really satisfied with what's there. And I believe I warped a Frieza, revived and reviled there. I know as soon as I put that card on the field, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. So I do try to put one of the promos on the field here, and you do respond with the cooler to blow it out. And I believe the cooler also makes me discard a card. It's kind of like the old counterplay Vegeta. I'm forgetting the name of it. Green 3-drop comes 2-drop, KO something 4 or less, and then makes you discard one.
Yep.
Which did kind of suck losing that launch because that's one of my only options to being able to neg a unison card. Albeit it's by 5k, but there could be a situation where that's going to be very, very strong since I'm relying on my combos alone. Now, at one point on the previous turn, you did flash a certain card to me, so I have this in the back of my mind, and I usually try not to play with information that I wouldn't normally have, just because I feel like it's almost like cheating in a way, but you did flash your Boonimba to me. I had the idea of a counter coming down in my head this entire game. So
I've actually been considering taking the Boonimbas out. I didn't play one the entire night. It's kind of awkward. Either you pass with exactly 2 energy open or you pass with 1 energy open. Mm-hmm. So, and the ability to pass with 2 energy open really only occurs on very specific turns. So you don't generally want any of that to get in the way. And I've just been thinking about taking them out of the list entirely. They're not super important.
Mm-hmm. So every time that I had the ability to negate a leader swing, that's the attack I was negating because I was worried about that counter hitting the field. Of course, that could be a target for me to neg out, and that would be a good use of my arrivals. But it just felt really bad.
Here I'm trying to think about what is going to be best. I need to kind of clear out some of these field cards that are there in order to utilize my energy. But I think kind of at this point, I'm not worried about you killing me next turn so much. So I think I decide to ultimately just try to put on some pressure this turn. and try to hopefully burn a couple of the cards in your hand out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here, I'm even thinking about putting a Zamos, a few Zamos Deity's Wrath on the field. And unfortunately, as soon as I put out the Frieza to get that out, you just neg them off the field.
Yeah. I do know that's a tech. I think Jake played that tech before, so I'm familiar with having that Frieza come down and followed by the Zamasu in this list.
I ran it when I played this deck as well. Like you main 4 of those Friezas because those Friezas can be 15Ks in this deck, so they're relevant battle swings, so you can swing with them, then fuse Zamos, go into your fuse Zamos and swing for there. So charismatics are probably more valuable in this deck than they are in any other deck.
Yeah.
And then I put out this Golden Frieza. The name escapes me.
You called it Pineapple of the Clan, but it's Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Pinnacle of the Clan. Yeah. So, that's it.
I do want to talk about this specific Frieza play. So right here, I say, what does that Frieza got? Does it have barrier? And you respond with, it can't be removed by skills.
Yep. Just fucking with you.
So I go, well, I can remove it by skills because I can neg it off the field. It doesn't have barrier. I can remove it in that sense. So you say it can't be removed by skills. I'm like, okay, well, now I just have to neg this off the field. Easy peasy. I don't have to deal with it. So you see, I invest a super combo, a Sensu Bean, a cooler, a combo attack cooler, and then I have to either Sensu Bean again to restand my second energy to finally neg this out, because I have the cooler I reloaded back into my hand, and then a Hercule Boo to give it the extra to neg it out a total of 30. It's a 25k base battle card.
And it was never my intention to mislead you. We just bullshit while we're playing, so I was like, hey, it can't be removed by skills. I guess I said it too affirmatively.
Well, you picked it up and said that. So when I was like, oh, he's reading the card, you know, my homie Fluff isn't going to mislead me. He's reading the card right there to me. So I'm like, okay. So I'm debating, I'm burning a second Sensu Bean so I can tap one for cooler, then tap one for Hercule Boo. Which, looking back on it, probably would have been the better option. Because I'm just glancing here. I was like, it doesn't have double strike. I was looking at that. I wasn't reading the activate main as well. So I was like, okay, if I play this extra cooler right now without burning the Sensu Bean and tapping myself out, that puts it at a 5k battle card. I'm not worried about anything else. Not even thinking about the activate main. Because in my head, I'm still like, it can't be removed by skills. So I end up just dropping the cooler, tapping one, putting it 5, so it's a non-threat. And then you activate main, blow up one of your things, and you're like, get rid of that cooler. And I'm like, well, shit, now I really should have just negged it out. Because my thoughts, I have another combo attack cooler in hand. My next play would have been to swing with the 5-drop cooler as your lead, then swing with combo attack cooler, get my free multicolor combo, play another combo attack cooler to pick up my 5-drop cooler, and then neg out from there when I have 3 open energy.
Yeah.
So I expend all those resources, and all I end up with is a bunch of cards out of hand and a combo attack cooler in play. And it feels really, really bad. And what feels worse is I go, well, okay, I pick it up, and I'm like, I think I say to you, nowhere on this card does it say that it can't be removed by skills. And you were like, yeah, I was just fucking with you.
I was legitimately just fucking with you. The way that we always fuck with each other when we're playing. And that's what like caught me so off guard. Like, you've played against King Cold enough. I assumed you just knew. That's my mistake. So, because it is pretty influential into the outcome of this match.
Oh, yeah. The amount of resources that I spent on that, and I had the baby Unison in hand the entire time. What I would have done on that previous turn is just sucked it up and not dealt with it. Just like, you attack, okay, I'll combo out of the first attack. Then next attack, I might take double strike. It would put me at 2 life, but then I can drop baby. pick it up, and then I have all of those resources to use in my hand the next turn. But when you said, "Oh, it can't be removed by skills," I'm thinking of another 5-drop Frieza, specifically the yellow golden Frieza that
Divine Transformation Frieza.
Divine Transformation. I'm like, oh, it's another 5-drop golden Frieza. Obviously, it can't be removed by skills. So that is a major turning point in this game where I expended all of my resources, or a majority of my resources, just to get nothing out of it.
That is payback. That is payback for you telling me that I'm overthinking, and making me combo my hand out, and then killing me off of that. That is payback for that.
I've never done that.
I disagree. I disagree.
I've never done that. You should know Heroine's lineage is a card.
And you should know that Pineapple of the Clan is a card.
Well, from now on, I'm just going to pick up every card you play and read it.
Because you always read your cards and your opponents.
Yeah, it's going to be... Bancroft, you're never going to put me on camera again because it's going to be like a 2-hour-long match because I'm going to stop and read every single card.
I will call a judge for time.
I am the judge, bitch.
Exactly.
That's what I thought.
So I don't get to keep the Golden Frieza after all, and I now have to consider what I want to do about this Baby Unison. The thing that sucks about this Baby Unison is it has so much built-in protection in and of itself. Like, I was debating putting my Unison into it and minusing 3 and putting a triple strike into it, and then throwing my leader swing into it and putting another double strike into it. But I was like, no, I've got to pressure the leader here. I can't worry about this Baby Unison. I'm not very battle card dependent, so even if you are pulling battle cards out of my hand, I have to try to push with you tapped out here.
So this Baby Unison's just fantastic in every red deck. It is kind of awkward in launch, specifically with the Launch the Pure-Hearted. I have 2 of them in my warp currently. But that card specifies that you have to have a base 5,000 leader to be able to utilize that combo from the drop area. And there have been some situations where I put myself at a rough spot because I tap myself out while I'm unawakened with Baby, and it gives my leader a plus 1,000. Which makes it a 6,000 and makes it so I cannot use that launch and I can't flip my my leader for the turn because of it.
That's a huge negative.
That is a massive negative. But of course, I really only like putting the Baby Unison out when I have an option to untap myself. An example, the Beerus super combo. I don't have one in hand currently, but I have one in my life that I could snag to restand. And of course, I'm on the backside of my leader, and I don't have a Pure-Hearted in the drop area to use anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. But it is something to think about if you do decide to play launch utilizing this Baby Unison, which I think you should because it is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the benefits of that Baby Unison probably outweigh the cons in this particular scenario.
Yeah, I mean, free removal, free protection, draws, like it's everything you could want. The only downside is that it's a 3-cost Unison, but you get to use the Videl counterplay, which is strong in its own right.
So I get the double strike through on the leader. I go ahead and swing with the Unison and do the -3 here, so it's going to gain 15,000 triple strike. I wish I had been able to find a way to deal just 1 damage to you, as opposed to doing the double strike to you, giving you the additional card in hand. But I go ahead and decide to just combo out on this swing, and I basically either force you to use 95% of the cards in your hand or combo everything in your hand out to get out of this.
Yeah. And this goes back to spending all those resources on the Pineapple of the Clan, where I would have had significantly more options in my hand to deal with this swing without having to dump pretty much every bit of my resources. So the play of flipping my leader might have not been the greatest idea because I do lose out on 5k, but I felt like the draw could draw me into something that would be much more valuable than a 5k on the leader. I don't remember exactly what my draw is, but I do combo out of this attack, and it does take pretty much everything I got.
And you do have so much gas when it comes to comboing and everything like that. And here you put out the Hercbu just to get the draw, and I believe you just pay 1 to combo with it off the field.
I believe so, yeah.
Seeing you go from no energy open to standing 3 open, I went from very confident that I just won the game to certain that you were going to combo out. We're sitting here going, and I'm like, there's no way he can combo out of this. And then as soon as you were on 3 energy open, I was like, yep, he's going to combo out of this. And I probably lost the game because of that.
Yep. But I mean, you did... we talk a lot about here where you go for like a cripple play. Instead of going for game, you're going just to neuter your opponent so that they can't do anything back to you. You force them into that top deck position. Now, of course, you were going for a in the game, I'm killing you this turn play, but it also was a effective cripple play because now I'm having to make very, very difficult decisions. Just because the base of the cards in my hand, like in a perfect world with the cards that I have in my hand currently, if I could keep all 3 of them, I think I could seal the deal on my crackback turn. Yeah. But you're putting me in a position where I had just have to combo them out.
Yeah, and I had the ability to go another 15k on this swing. But I had the secret rare in my hand, and I was holding the secret rare.
Mm-hmm.
For the response turn after this, and that kind of goes back to me being a control mid-range player, where I probably should have been more aggressive about what I put on the field for the combo there, just to force you to spend another card or 2 cards out of your hand to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I do misplay here, I believe. I have Royal Supremacies in my hand, and I had just forgotten that on the Royal Supremacies, they pop a 3 or less battle card, or they pop battle cards that add up to 3 or less on the field. And all night, I forgot to use those.
Well, that's pretty good.
like Royal Supremacy I used as a free negate, but I just 100% completely forgot about its popping effect.
Mm-hmm. Dormant's pretty stinky, but with the spread of cards, if I had a my large hand that I had, a Dormant really wouldn't affect me as much as it does in this situation.
Yeah. I do want to talk about, in this situation, you start comboing up on your baby unison, and in my head, for some reason, I think double strike. Right? So I end up popping the leader's effect just to rip a marker off the unison to make it lose double strike. And all that does is make it lose 10k combo power. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Because I end up having to take the damage anyway, because I don't have anything in my hand to combo out. Like, I could have burned that combo, but I just take the damage anyway. I shouldn't have done that.
And here I throw out a 5 seconds to eradication. This card, I've always been a fan of this card. I just really haven't found a deck that it really pops off in, but it's like the perfect cherry on top with this launch list. Like, it is overperformed every single time. So if you were at 1 life there, I think that may have been able to pull it out.
That would have definitely sealed the game.
Because if you don't know what 5 seconds to eradication does, is when your opponent negates, you may pick up a life and then deal 1 damage to your opponent. So basically, if your opponent's at 1 life, they have to deal with the attack.
I believe I have a Homicidal Clones in hand. I did activate Royal Supremacy there, which I believe in hindsight, Royal Supremacy requires 3 field cards on the field. And I believe I'm only at 2 here. But I could have just tapped 2 for the Homicidal Clones. Because I had 2 energy open.
Yeah, one of my big hopes is that on the baby swing, you are going to tap in energy to do anything, putting you at 1 to force you into having to take the life or homicidal.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about the other negate that King Cold has, which I do think it does require 3 on the field. But of course, you did have 2 energy open and be able to energy negate, easy peasy.
And with that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's matchup. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below. There's stuff there for you to comment. Fluff, would you lead us out?
Absolutely. Couple misplays there, but overall was a really good game. I did not mean to misdirect Jimmy in any means. This was, it was mostly a friendly match. We were playing, for the shop tournament, but it was still overall just a really fun game. As always, read your cards, know your plays, let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. I fucking mean it when I say that. And Fluff out.